You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is the host of apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Hello and welcome to the 116th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined this evening by a bunch of my favorite Wasteland Wanderers. Tonight, Ray. Hello, Ray.
Evening, Andrew.
And Jess. Hi, Jess.
Evening.
And we also have Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hello.
Awesome. Great to have everybody this evening. This is, we're going into the round table for the season 7. For any new listeners out there, we can give you a brief description of what our roundtable project is. And it's pretty much what we're going to be doing for the next few months here on the Fallout Feed. And we're all excited because we just drew characters last week. So on this episode, well, it wasn't last week. Was it Saturday? It was just this past Saturday for the ASA Podcasting 12-hour charity marathon to benefit the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, which was an incredible success because of our lovely community. Thank you, everyone out there who stuck around, hung out, donated a few dollars, contributed to the shows in some way. It was a great success. I couldn't be happier with the results, and thank you everyone who had any little role in that. And if you are interested in donating, the fundraiser continues. If you feel like you missed out and you want to help out still, go to our website, asapodcasting.com. Click on the donate link there, right at the top. Good stuff. All right, so I don't know. Let's just go around and see what people have been doing in the game recently. There's been an update that we need to get into. And all sorts of good stuff. Ray, have you played any Fallout this week?
Yeah, played a little bit last night and tonight. So it's I did end up with one little snag, so I can't quit the game.
Well, you're not ever supposed to, right?
Evidently. So since the updates, every time I go to try to quit the game, it just locks up and stops responding. So it's telling me to never leave.
Just start sending wave after wave of super mutants and ghouls at you.
Yeah.
You'll never leave. I don't know. That can't be a horrible problem, I guess.
No.
Stuck in the wasteland.
Yeah.
So can you get back to the main menu at least?
Yeah, I can get to the main menu, but when I hit quit, that's what it acts like it's going away. It says leaving the game, but then it just locks up.
Oh, ouch.
So not the end of the world.
And that's only since this new update.
Yeah. I just restart the computer and everything's cool.
Yeah. What other new differences have you noticed with this new update from from today? And I guess PC was a couple of days ago now.
Yeah. So played around a little bit with the bulldozer, and definitely works like a charm. The only bummer is that whatever you replace in the scene, you don't get any credit for the material. So if you replace a log, you don't get any wood, and if you replace a rock, you don't get any cement.
I was hoping that there would be an actual little excavator that you could ride around on the property.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, except I'm on the edge of a cliff, and so I would probably die.
Topple that thing right off the edge, wouldn't you? All right, so there's a bunch of new things in the update. I know, Jess, that you played a ton this afternoon, but you didn't actually get into much battling at all. You spent most of the time at your awesome settlement that we I keep calling it settlements. Your awesome camp that we saw Also during the benefit, when all 8 of us stopped by your house to say hi. Take a
Yeah,
few
that
shots.
that was awesome when everybody came by and took pics on my roof. You can see some of that in the Facebook group. Yeah, when we
Rooftop flat. Great.
when we started the run on Saturday, which I know we're going to talk about probably a little more in a little bit, and we were trying to figure out how we were going to cross the map, I kind of thought of my camp as a good central location because 76 would have been a little too close to the goal. So we started at my camp after we got all set up at Pat's, and we had a good run of it. But yeah, today I was in game building my camp all day. I logged in around 1 to check out the patch, play with the bulldozer, play with all the updates, and I just stayed in camp pretty much all day until you logged in.
And I, of course, distracted you. And I will put out the service announcement that I put out on Facebook earlier this week. If I request to be on your team, that's awesome for you to reject me if you're busy doing something or else. But just keep in mind that I have a perk card that says when I'm a member of a team, I get an extra bonus percentage of XP. So I'm not necessarily wanting to barge in on your game or pull you away from whatever you're doing to come help me do something. I just need to be on a team so I can get that extra XP. So don't feel offended if I sign up to be on your team and then I don't come join you, or if I request you to be on my team and then you come over and I'm doing something like looking for wood out in the forest or something. You know what I mean?
And by the same token, if I do an accepted team request, it's not that I don't want to be on your team, it's that I want to use that sweet, sweet Lone Wanderer perk.
Yeah, exactly. Man,
And with me, I can't find the button to accept the friend request.
Evidently, okay. The PC is just a clusterfuck trying to meet up, right?
I mean, it's certainly doable. I've met up with Michelle, and I've met up with Lee and Sarah.
And Sarah, yeah. But I hear it's not just as easy peasy as it is on Xbox for some reason. There's sort of a backwards way you have to do it. Or no? Did I misunderstand what people were complaining about?
Yeah, no, we just you hit Control Tab, I think it is, and that brings up the social menu, and then you can just click on whoever you want to join and join their server, or you can do a team invite. So seems pretty straightforward.
Oh,
Yeah.
It just comes, the little message pops up really quick.
So small.
And, both times I was actually in the middle of looting a corpse. And so it, came and went before I had a chance to accept it. And I had to, reconnect.
Super. Well, Jen, what have you been doing in the game recently?
Well, I've been I started my new character, but I have my character that I started during the beta, and she's at level 36 now. And I've been trying to make some headway in the main story.
Nice.
And finding myself in terrible, terrible, scary places alone. But I had this one night I was out doing stuff I probably shouldn't do by myself. And I noticed the same people were doing the same quests with me. So we had done 3 together and kind of worked cooperatively without joining a team. And when it came time for the really scary cave with the Wendigos in there, they asked me to join. And for the first time, I joined strangers. And it was a lot of fun. It was really, really good. We were all around the same level, and it was just, there was no talking. I didn't have my mic on, and we just kind of mimed at each other and blasted through everything. It was really good.
Sweet. I think I know the cave you're talking about, and I had to go recruit Craig or Leon. I don't remember. I've recruited both of them to help me through different parts. It might have been Leon actually who helped me through that cave. Oh, it gets hairy. So I will take this opportunity because Jen started mentioning some stuff about the main story that we've had the game out for a month or so now. We are getting into the round table. The round table in and of itself is a spoiler cast. So if you are really worried about spoilers for the main quest, granted, we're going to roll them out extremely slowly. We're going to be talking about the main quest though, but we're going to be playing it from now until I think April or May. I can't remember how far the schedule went out, but we're going to be doing 2 or 3 quests per episode for the round table. And yeah, so we'll try not to get too far ahead of what we're mentioning so that the end game can sort of still be a pleasant surprise. Hopefully, I have not gotten to the end game. I was trying to power through the main quest with my my beta character, but I got stuck, and it became pretty apparent to me that later on in the game, I think they want you to team up. I think they make stuff, you know, better to be attacked by multiple folks. So we're going into this a little bit blind, but Jen, I'm sort of interested to know when you're working through your main quest here, was there a specific order that they're taking you through each of the factions? Because that's basically what the main quest in this game is. You do a few different quests for each of the main factions in the game. It seems so far, at least.
Yeah, it seems like one leads to the other, and then to the other.
And to the other, and to the other.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a mystery what the factions are. So the first ones I ran into that the game makes me go through was the responders.
Yeah.
And then the free staters, maybe. And now the Brotherhood. I'm up to the Brotherhood, I think.
Oh, I think I went responders, Brotherhood, and then free.
Ah, free staters, I believe.
Yeah, the free states or something.
Yeah. So, that's interesting. So I just I was going to go by what order the quest unraveled in my beta character, but then I decided to just go by what the wiki was saying. So, and it's slightly out of order of how I did it. But it's really interesting that the main quest is written in such a way that it can be done in multiple different orders. I just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I've got free states and Brotherhood quests that are running kind of simultaneously. And they're both in scary ass parts of the map, so I'm hesitant to go by myself. But yeah, I think that's really cool.
It's like that brief era in Fallout 4 when you're working for the railroad, but you're actually doing all the Institute quests. So you're like doing railroad and Institute stuff all at the same time, but you're like pretending to be like a spy or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. It's great. All right. Well, tonight we're getting into our character roles, and then we're just going to talk about, the game, what we're going to do, or what we imagine the characters to be, any challenges and struggles we foresee with getting any of these perks, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty of what this character generator actually spits out for us here. So we've got our character roles. I'll just mention again, if anyone would like to participate in the Roundtable project, you can contact us at thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. You will also find our random character generators over on our website. Fallout 76 random character generators on top right now, but you will also find random character generators for any of the Fallout games in the... No, not Fallout 3. You'll find a Fallout 4 character generator and also a Fallout New Vegas character generator there. If you're into playing those older games and you are tired of playing the same old character, you're in a rut, you can't help it. You always fall back on the same old. Come give our little method a try. Give yourself a random character. Try to build around those stats that our generator gives you. And see what kind of different adventures you can weave into your Fallout experience. There will be an episode with basically the hosts of the show, which normally is Sarah, Ray, and Andrew, me. And then every other week, there will be a feedback episode. So there'll be an episode of us talking about our characters and our quests, and then there'll be a feedback episode of all the people and who doing play-alongs sending in their feedback about their characters and their adventures. So we'll just flip back and forth. And here at the beginning of the season, I'd like everyone to please try to keep your feedback to around 5 minutes or so, because there's a lot of people involved, especially at the beginning of the seasons. And the shows tend to get to be about 3-4 hours long. So if feedback gets too...
And Ray has to work the next day.
Ray's pumpkin turns into a rat or something at midnight. So let's have a little respect for Ray, everybody, for Christ's sake.
Spoiled vegetables.
Yeah, you can, but you can at least plant some corn later with them if you make fertilizer or something.
That's true.
I still want my mulch tumbler. I'm pissed. I need my food to spoil faster. So pissed.
You would think you'd be able to have a little bit of composting in Fallout 76.
I think it just rots in your pocket.
Yeah, you have spoiled meat in your back pocket, right?
Yeah.
So did I explain the project at all? So you send us in 5 minutes of audio feedback, and we respond to your feedback and talk about what is going on with you, and then we hang out with all the play along people. It's a fun little format to anyone who's new to the show. I'm sure you've heard a few back episodes and get the idea. But we love a really active community, so please send us in your feedback. We love hearing it. And the schedule. Sorry, didn't mention that. Schedule can also be found on the website right underneath the character generator. Try not to get too far ahead so you don't forget what's going on. I like to jot down a few notes after a play session just to sort of remark on any fun things, because sometimes it'll be almost 2 weeks later that I'm actually talking about it from when I've played it. So, and I think with this season of the Roundtable, we're going to try to incorporate lots of team ups and stuff. So I don't know. It seems like on Sunday morning, the Xbox Stream team from the ASA Podcasting charity benefit, they're going to meet up again. They had such a good time last Saturday that they have chosen to meet up again this Sunday. So that'll be fun. I think that's really great. And
it was very cool. I watched some of that, and it looked like you guys were having a blast.
It was a really, really fun time. We spent too much time taking pictures, though.
It worked out, though. Getting everybody together was the hard part at the beginning, and then getting everybody in frame for pictures. So yeah, we blew probably the first hour. If anyone's watching the full 3 hours that Pat recorded, around an hour, 20 minutes from when he started the recording is when the action kind of starts. And that's still 10 minutes of pictures, but that's like once the whole gang's there. But to be fair, the first hour was pre-stream. That was just him testing it out. And instead of starting a new stream, because we had everything working finally, we just kept it going.
But we actually got 8 people all together, 2 teams of 4 running around. I was surprised how easy it was to get everyone on the same server.
It was way easier than expected. Like we were kind of betting on the chances ahead of time, but I didn't hear anybody have a problem.
We all just hopped right in. It was pretty great. And there's a couple of people who were just random individuals running around the wasteland and would saw this army of 8 people running around together.
8 golfers.
I can't imagine what those people were going through their head as they came across us.
Oh, I loved it. The guy we met after the first camp we came across, the second guy just hanging out, he started yelling, "Help, help," waving his hands in the air, running away from us.
We're not going to kill you yet.
You guys were terrifying. Angry golfers running around, Argyle everywhere.
Friendly golfers. We had a ball. We didn't mean to tee anybody off.
Tee anybody.
Sorry.
I'm going to hold the club jokes for now.
But yeah, did we want to talk about the stream at all? What we did there, or
let's get into the stream, and then we also need to get into the nitty gritty of the new patch notes, and we need to talk about our characters and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, let's get into the stream.
Well, what was the highlight of the stream for you, Andrew?
Just the the sheer ridiculousness of just having 8 of us all together in general was pretty amazing.
Yeah, it was kind of
alligator-
organized chaos.
The alligator slide at the end, just getting everybody running loops around each other, like, oh, where are? And then everyone gathering for the last like picture at Wally's. What is it? Wally? Well, not Wally World. What's it called?
Wavy Willards.
Wavy Willards. Wally
Yeah.
World. I was just watching Vacation. Sorry.
That's what I keep calling it.
You punch Wally in the nose, Ray.
I love the fact.
It's great. What was your favorite part about it?
I love the fact we did a little bit of everything when we were there. You know, we visited a camp, and then just coming across things randomly. Like I noticed when we were south of the Gorge settlement, the Gorge workshop. I mean, you know, which is one of the early workshops, but some people hadn't ever taken over a workshop in the group. So we saw it was owned. We rushed in trying to take it. You know, some doing the stealth move, golfers creeping in, and there was nobody there, so it was easy enough to take. But then while we were there, we set up some defenses. We got shot by each other's turrets because we were 2 separate teams. It actually let us PvP for a little bit.
Yeah, I took the camp the workshop the first time, and then Juan came and took it from me. I was like, you son of a.
Yep, and then my team owned it, and then you took it again, and then I attacked your turrets and became wanted. Actually, I broke up a couple of turrets, so I just wanted to see what happened if I became wanted, if the other team we were with could shoot me, and you could. Pat shot me dead. But yeah, that was really fun to play with. So I think that was my favorite part. Plus, everybody been at my camp, even though it's new and improved now. That was still really fun. And then all the photos too. We did spend a lot of time on it, but we got some good photos on our loading screens, and that's awesome.
That's great. I think my photo mode is full. I need to go into photo mode and get rid of some old pictures. I need to make sure I have all the important ones screen capped so I can clear out the photo mode. They should expand that as well. The photo mode cache. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 40 pictures aren't quite enough. Pat ran out after the first 2 areas we took photos at, and then I ran out by the end too.
Yeah. We need a whole photo album to carry around.
Yeah, that's about the point I picked you guys up was when you were running up on that workbench to take it over.
I do have to say the stream audio was kind of weird. Like at the time, it seemed fine on headset, but listening back, all the guys sounded like Darth Vader, and I kind of sounded like Luke. It was weird, and of course, Sherry didn't come through at all.
It's really strange when I'm playing with like Alex on Xbox. He likes to do the Xbox party chat. So I try to turn off the audio in game. I think there's some weirdness going on. It almost sounds like, yeah, you said there's some weird audio going on. To me, it sounds like almost that 2 slightly offset audio channels are open simultaneously.
I wasn't sure if it was that or like if everything just kind of got deeper sounding, like it all went
really
dropping a couple pitches. At least when I watched the stream back, not while we were playing. While we were playing, it was pretty normal.
Interesting, because when I didn't watch back to the video itself, but when playing live, it does sound a little bit funny. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but I don't know.
Yeah, experienced online players, like people who play a lot of online games, they like the Xbox party chat because it's a very easy interface. And also you don't have the trouble like you and I today in game. When we first hooked up and we became a team, we were chatting fine for the first 5 minutes. I'm showing stuff off. And then halfway through, you couldn't hear me, I couldn't hear you. And it was pretty awkward for a little bit. I'm like, Andrew, can you hear me? Like 20 different ways. And meanwhile, you're talking and I'm jumping around. And but I had to log out, log back in, and then rejoin the team. And it was fine after that.
That's fine after just going back, restarting, unplugging the Xbox. Yeah. No, but I love your camp. It's great. Some cool instruments are there. I like your whole setup. You have a ratioed adhesive farm, which I think is impressive. You just have like your bam, 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 everything set out right there. You can just grab your stuff, make your adhesive.
Yeah, go around as soon as you log in, and then make your adhesive, do your sleeping and your musical instruments, do another round of the adhesive, and you're good to go. Or make a big batch of corn soup.
corn soup. And the instrument's well tuned gives you which buff again?
Plus 25 AP regen.
Oh, that's a good one. I like
Yep.
that. What are the sort of buffs like that we know about in the game so far? You can sleep for well rested, and that's is that XP?
Yes.
And so we've got AP from music.
Yep.
Is
then
there a hit points one?
Is there oh, I don't think so. But I mean, the different food does different things. We got carry weight with the Radstag steaks and the Brahmin. A lot of the juices will do a one special plus AP regen or one special plus a hit point regen, stuff like that. I don't remember which is which, but
what do teas do?
What do?
Teas, like you get the rhododendron tea and stuff like that.
I think that's the same as juices, whereas you usually get a boost to a special and then one other effect.
And see, I never want to make my fruit into juices because I'm like, oh shit, I got to go back and get this into the ground so that I can use it to make an adhesive farm. But then I get back with my fruit to the to my camp to put it in the ground, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any fertilizer. I'm just gonna go get some fertilizer real quick, and by the time I get back from getting the fertilizer, the fruit that I intended to plant anyway had rotted in my inventory.
That happened to me until about level 20 when I finally made it a goal. I'm like, I am not playing quests. I'm not getting distracted. I am taking, this one piece of corn back, this one mute fruit back. And then as I harvested, I planted them until I had enough.
And you got to hit up that greenhouse. Where is that? That's not at Vault Tech University. Where's that greenhouse with all the robots and stuff?
I mean, there's
just outside of Flatwoods.
That's outside of Flatwoods, yeah, where the fertilizer generator is.
Yeah, got to go hit up, get all that fertilizer there, and get the corn at that farm on the western edge of the map near the river. And they got a few potatoes there too, and some power armor in the garage. What is it? Silva farm? That's my hot spot. Get your corn, get your potatoes, get a power armor suit over there at the Silva farm.
Is that the one down south near the teapot, or is that the one up north in the northwest?
It's right against the river. It's closer to the teapot, I would say.
Okay, yeah, I know who that is. I like that one.
It's just across from Deathclaw Island, isn't it?
No, that's the north side one.
It's further down.
But that's Billings.
Plenty of places to get your corn and stuff around. You just got to know where to go. It's kind of maddening at first, early in the game, especially when you've played Fallout 4 and you have these philosophies written down in your head about how to make your characters and what makes a good settlement. See, it gets hammered into me with every character that, okay, these are the things I need. These are the things I want in my settlement. These are the people I want to come to my settlement. And when I'm trying to apply that sort of same philosophies to Fallout 76 is not quite converting so well. So like, all right, I need to go get my giant water purifiers and my rad arch and this and that and the other. And I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta go find all these plans now. It's not just I have to find the stuff. I also have to find the plans that allow me to make the stuff, it's crazy.
That's so frustrating. Like not having plans, it really limited. As someone who loves to build, at first it kind of, I made a camp, I was happy with it, but then plans became my number 2 thing, which is why I kept taking over workshops, because that's the most consistent way to get plans. Yeah. And even still, even after probably 30, 40 workshop takeovers and, level 30 something, I only have maybe half the plans out there.
And do you know, is there a comprehensive list of every plan in the game? Have they all been discovered? I assume we know what there are because it gives you a circle slash of.
Right, it's on the list. Yeah.
So I remember at some point when the game was being teased that the menus weren't supposed to reveal. That was one of the differences in the menus, that they weren't supposed to reveal what can be cooked and built until you find it. But they're giving us the circle slash so you can see everything that you could cook or build before.
Well, build, yeah, but not cook. A lot of the recipes, the Appalachia chili, stuff like that.
Wait, the Appalachia chili.
Well, that's one of the early ones, the Appalachia chili.
Yeah, I can't even say. That was a good name. What's in there? A little rad stag? What? I don't even know what goes in there.
It's just all Brahmin all the way. But those things, the juice, the teas, you can't see all that ahead, can you? It's been a little while. I always click left stick to hide what I can't craft, so maybe it is.
That too. I instinctively do that now.
which they added to camp with the Tuesday patch and now our Thursday patch, which is great because in camp I can finally hide all the stuff I'm not using.
Oh yes, that'll be great. That'll be useful. That'll be really nice. Because just scrolling through all the stuff you can't use, I mean, not only is it pointless, but it makes you a little jealous or something. You know what I mean? Look at the stuff I don't have access to.
Well, and now they're selling you Atom Shop items right in the build menu too. I don't know if you opened the camp today.
Yes, I saw that. It had an Atom signal next to it. I was like, oh, look, that door is beautiful. I can't build that. Oh, there's an Atom thing. Oh, they're selling me a door.
Yeah, I thought it was a bug at first, and you could do the glitch that you used to be able to do, where you could change what something looks like, and if you stored it. But no, it wanted to sell it to me.
Oh, for real though? Did you see the door I'm talking about with the little leaves?
The flowers?
With
Yeah.
the flowers? Yeah, that's a beautiful door.
I want that door. It's an amazing door.
They know you do, Andrew.
My floppy hat and flower door.
They are more than happy to sell it to you.
I know they would be. So I just was informed today. I was always thinking the best way to make atoms for the atomic shop would be to take over those workshops, like Jess was saying. She makes her rounds. She tries to steal workshops every time she plays. That is more for plans, as I'm discovering. And Alex was telling me about daily achievements and stuff now, and that's how you're supposed to make the atoms.
Yeah,
I
the
didn't
daily
even-
challenges, weekly challenges. Yeah.
I had never even clicked on the challenges option in your main start menu. There's challenges, maybe right above social or something, but I'd never even clicked on that. But there's like just little simple lists of things you can do on the daily ones. They're pretty inane activities that you can earn 10 atoms pretty easily, just collecting 10 wood or doing different things, crafting corn soup or something pretty simple. But then they get weekly challenges and monthly challenges that those are way more intense.
Yeah,
Sorry.
those are all for atoms. Lee's been on those right from the beginning, getting a lot of atoms that way.
Lee?
Yeah, and like that's why you saw me wearing the red dress last week, because there was a challenge to level up 5 times while wearing formal wear, stuff like that. So I'm definitely doing them.
Yeah, it wasn't formal wear. There was something. It was wearing a costume and mask. There's that is one of the challenges. Level up 5 times wearing a costume and mask. I'm like, oh, can I just play through the whole levels wearing my normal clothes and then just put on the costume and mask like a couple of points before the level up, or do you actually have to be in it for the whole level?
No. If you switch right before you level, it's fine.
Okay, good. Nice. So I'm going to start playing some of those so I can hopefully get some atoms. Oh, I didn't check. Did people go through the atomic shop pretty thoroughly? Look, is there a Santa suit? I'm sure I would have heard about it by now if there were.
I haven't seen a Santa suit. I've been looking.
I'm devastated.
Yeah, I think it was the winter suit, and now they've moved on to lots of camp items like the 4-poster bed, and there's a really cool glowing map. Did you get the 4-poster bed?
I bought it tonight after I was done with Alex and Andrew logging out. I'm like, okay, 700 atoms. It's mine.
I burned through all my caps and with the photo mode poses. I can't stop myself.
Oh yeah, what do you like?
I picked up, was it Strong Girl? It's like the Rosie the Riveter bicep curl.
Yeah, that's brand new. Looks awesome.
Yeah. I love that one. Yeah, but yeah, I keep getting them, and then I spend all my time in photo mode, and I've died a few times like a really bad selfie taker. There was a fight with super mutants and 3 scorch beasts, and I was crouched hiding behind a bush hoping they wouldn't see me, and I thought, God, this would make a really great picture. And I went into photo mode, and of course I had to stand up for it, and the scorch beast saw me, and I just died real fast before I could take it, but it would have been a great shot. Yeah. I'm like one of those people that backs up off a cliff and dies because they're trying to take a selfie with a stick. That's me.
If you die in photo mode, can you still take pictures of yourself and whoever killed you?
You can, you can die because I did it again with Mothman. I tried to take a picture of me and stalking Mothman, and that didn't work so well either. And I managed to get myself dead on the floor before the countdown, or before the count started, to see if when I would respawn.
Yep.
Mhm.
The timing on that is so hard. Like
So
when you
hard.
try and take a picture with an enemy and he turns into meat. I had a super mutant dangling by his foot from a catwalk like a couple days ago. I was so excited. I was like, catch a super mutant by a toe. By the time I lined up the shot, boom, he switched to meat.
Oh, so it's just you and meat.
It's just
Aw.
me and meat
And the flies.
And the flies.
in my face.
Was the meat like floating in the air, all
Yeah.
flat on the bottom? Yeah.
Yeah, it was floating on the edge of the metal thing. Yep.
Levitating meat.
I was at the water treatment plant tonight, and there's one of those little commie robots that was about 30 feet up in the air, just stuck.
Oh no.
Really?
Yeah. And
Could you bat them down?
well, I pulled out my sniper rifle and dropped him, and he just crashed to the ground and went over and picked up his steel scraps.
Yeah, I feel like the midair spawns have gotten better, but you still see stuff like that.
I forgot to go back and check. I got a red star pin off of one of them, and I wasn't sure if it was a pin, a lapel pin, or if it was a writing pin.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Neat if you could put it on your collar or whatever. Speaking of
Well.
hovering things, I think Phil found a hovering sloth, and I was like, I just thought that was a trick. I didn't know they actually put them in the game. I haven't even seen one of those yet.
Yeah, he was just mildly levitating.
Yeah,
Mildly
Yours was
levitated.
30 feet in the air. Yeah. This guy was doing a Chris Angel move. Is that his name?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Gotta get my magician references correct. Come on.
I'm pretty sure I saw his tail touching the ground, and he was lifting himself up. It was a fake.
Oh.
Yeah, it hardly counted. I think he was like a little bit of one of the cement girders along the road, kind of helping him get up there.
Cheat.
Your commie robot was the real thing.
Oh yeah, he was so far up there. I mean, I thought it was I thought it was a little speck on my screen, and so I tried rubbing it off, and oh no, that's in the game.
Pull out the scope.
So I pulled out the scope, and sure enough, it was a little commie robot.
Funny.
So what do you do? You shoot him.
That's what you do. Well, that's what you do. Yes.
For the scrap.
And, normal people take into account is he aggressive or anything, before you just kill it mindlessly, right?
They're always aggressive. Well, that's not true. I built my camp just south of 76 on a little tiny pond, and the only thing that spawns there are bunnies and foxes, maybe a firefly or two. It's idyllic. It's lovely.
And why on earth do they come up red in vats?
I don't know, but my turrets keep taking them down, so I had to take down the turrets because I was tired of cleaning up sad rabbit bodies.
And they don't ever attack. Like, I don't understand what. I just don't get it.
Well, they're prey, right?
Yeah, they're giving you permission to kill them.
Maybe you don't feel as bad if they're red.
Yeah.
It makes me think that they're aggressive towards me.
Well, it's like in 4, if you shoot somebody who's not aggro, it counts as a murder.
They're white first, but then it turns red.
Yeah, but if you shoot them when they're white, then it counts as a murder. It also in 3 in New Vegas would count as a murder as well, and against your karma.
Is there PvP? Is there a murder count in this? I haven't even looked at my pit.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, there are so few stats. There are so few stats that tracks openly.
Yeah, I guess you can track it. I've been tracking my hours played with the challenges, because there's the 76-hour challenge, play Wander the Wastes for 76 hours,
Yeah.
and then the next one is 7,600 hours.
Yeah, who's gonna?
Yeah.
So I just kind of weigh it against that.
Yeah, we were talking about it last week. It seems like I think they just went so high so that people had, could track their hours. I think
Yeah.
people like Alex are over 200 already. So
Figured a way I could do it. See, Jess and I were playing earlier tonight, and my character just walks forwards just very slowly. So like my controller's like, I don't know, it's just not centered or something. What's it called?
it's called stick drift.
I got stick drift. That sounds sexual. That's bad. I've got bad stick drift, y'all. But the I need to see if I can recalibrate the controller. I think I saw that option in the Xbox menu at some point. And if that doesn't work, I either have to my used game shop will they for $10 will repair controllers, and I've had success over there before. So maybe they can fix this one. If not, I'll have to go. God, I can't believe how damn expensive the controllers are.
Does it happen in any other game for you, or just 76?
What's that?
Does it happen in any other game for you?
Do you?
Because I have that problem when I play Witcher. I drift to the left constantly, and then but it doesn't do it for any of the Fallout games or anything else.
Well, Jen, that would entail me playing another game.
That's true. Who are we kidding?
Yeah. Different games have different sensitivities, I think, before you start walking, which is why it works that way.
Okay.
But, not that this is an Xbox podcast, but if you go to the accessories app, Andrew, you can change the sensitivity on the stick so it doesn't initialize till you're further from center, and that'll solve it for a while unless it gets worse.
It'll put a thumb in that dike. It'll solve it for a little bit. No, yeah. That'll I'll need to fix that. But I was thinking I could since when you're idle for 10 minutes
30 now.
Is it 30 now? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When you're idle for 30 minutes, it'll take you out of game. But I figure I can just have my character walking slowly from one side of the map to the other, and just leave it on when I go to sleep, and I can I'll eventually be able to get to that 7,600 hour achievement. Leave it on
unless you go sideways and off a cliff.
Oh yeah, I'd have to figure out how to respawn. Can I just leave my button mashed down to respawn?
Oh yeah. Well, you'll also use all your stim packs on the way too.
Yeah, that damn card. I had to take that damn card off.
I have a legendary leg with the same skill as the card, which is great because you don't need to use the card to use it. But yeah, I don't keep it on unless I'm going a place where I might not be able to watch my health.
Yeah. I just found a replenishing chest piece. Is it replenishing? I'm not sure what it's called, but it slowly regenerates your health. I'm like, oh, thank God! It's like Life Giver, basically from Fallout 4.
Sweet.
Yeah, I thought, oh man, this is great. This is great. It's a low level too. I was still like level 6 or whatever when I picked that up. So that's really wonderful. All right, guys. Jess, did you want to mention anything else about the stream, or what? Are you meeting up this weekend?
I'm a maybe on the list. We got a lot of definites. For me, it's just a timing thing. If it fills up when there are a couple teams, I might not. But yeah, probably.
Yeah, I might try to step in for a minute or two, but I probably won't be able to be there the whole time. But I think it's Sunday morning. There's an event in the Facebook group popping around. If you're interested in playing Xbox with a bunch of folks, Sunday morning, I think it was 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah, just click join on one of us, and probably there'll be a party going, and we'll direct you to it. Yep.
And they like to do the Xbox party chat, so be prepared to activate that. And if you want your name or your voice to be included in the Twitch stream, you'll have to activate your microphone to include your voice. There's a whole thing you have to do. As Alex was walking each and every person through it as we were joining on. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I guess we should go ahead and get into our roundtable characters. Let's pull up my There we go. Got my thing going here. Ray, you were kind enough to roll a bunch of characters for a bunch of kind folks. Do you remember off the top of your head how many characters were rolled, at least on the show?
Remember, no. Count the images in my file here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 people.
Wow. Yeah, holy cow. So that's great. Hopefully everyone will send in some feedback, and we won't be able to talk during the feedback episodes. We'll just be mowing through feedback the whole time. That's awesome. So that's just the people who've rolled on the show. I've already got responses from other people in the Facebook group who are like, "Oh, did I miss my opportunity to join?" No. If you're listening to this episode 3-4 weeks from now, 5-6 weeks from now, if you're listening to this episode in February or something, then you can still join in on us, because we go so slowly that you will totally be able to catch up with us by the time we're getting, further on into the season. So you want to hop on in, please go right ahead, roll yourself a character on the asapodcasting.com, click on the follow feed section, roll a character, send us in feedback about 5 minutes long. We prefer MP3s as the format, if you can do that in your phone. I just said phone. That is perfectly fine with us. We are not highbrow tech audio people over here. Just use your phone to record your voice if you want to, and on your voice memo app. Most phones have something like that. And then just send us your thoughts on your character, and we'll hear next week about everyone's character role from our random character generator. So, Ray, why don't we go ahead and discuss just the generator itself first here?
Okay.
In depth, we can really get into what is going on here. And Steve did a wonderful job. We really had not a ton to work with, if you know what I mean, from Fallout 4, because they give you a base spread of 28 different stats or points that you put into your special categories, and plus you knew all of the possible perk points that you could invest in. So we had a lot less structure to work with here. Now, what we did know is that every level up, you are assigned a special, and you can put 1 point into any of the specials. So the first 50 levels here, we've got all mapped out with what special you have to take at each level. Now, in the past, we kind of let you level up as you wanted, but this is very regimented on how we have you leveling up here. How do you think that's going to change your experience, Ray?
But so, I mean, it does a couple of things. One, so like your character with a strength of 11, most of those strength level ups are much later in the build. And so, it creates kind of an interesting interplay between, what the end stat is and, what your actual gameplay experience is going to be as we roll along through this thing. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I haven't really been super organized in the way that I've been doing my initial test characters. So I'm anxious to see, exactly how things progress as I go through with my specific build. And this is all random. Steve did a super job, creating this thing so that it spit all this stuff out onto our Pip-Boy.
Yeah, it's a great Pip-Boy.
Yeah. And so it is it's going to be fun to see how it works out.
Jess, what do you foresee?
with the quests as we go through.
Well, they sort of the special allotment and the differences between Fallout 4 and how it'll change the round table.
Yeah, well, that was a hard thing to figure out. Like when we first started the generator, all we had was gender and those 50 stats. Like that was the one thing we knew from the start. Like, okay, these are concrete values. Let's add them in. When we were talking about it, we weren't sure. I mean, obviously people can play how they like, and they can either aim towards the ultimate values, in each special, or they can do it in the order we put it. But I think the order we put it is a good way to mix it up, because that will definitely force you to try different things.
And I used to build a Fallout 4 roundtable character by taking a sheet of paper and writing 1 through 50. Ray taught me to do this.
Yeah.
And then I take all of my assigned perks, and then I would assign, okay, I'd look and go to the wiki and see at what level I could take each of those perks. So if I was assigned Life Giver, I knew I could take that at 1, 7, 13 or something like that. So I'd write Life Giver in those slots. And then I would do like Pickpocket in the different slots, and this Scrounger and those different, like write those at and those different numbers. So that's how I would number out.
Right, map it out ahead.
Levels, yeah. So this is sort of that same idea, but we couldn't do it with perks because it's totally random with what cards you can get. So we just did it with the special points instead, because you aren't assigned any of those beforehand, and you pick one each level. So that was kind of an easy even Steven swap out there.
Yep. Yeah, no, I like it. It's definitely, when we talk about our characters, it's going to force me to be a little bit different. And as far as the cards go, the cards that we have under these special perks that we have to take, I mean, those are guaranteed to come up at a certain point while leveling. But right. It might be a little while before we get to them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is a known number of perks, so they will come up eventually.
Right. The perks are unlocked as you level. So there are some perks that are only available at level 1, 2, 3, other perks that come in the 30s. So you have to get to a certain threshold before they pop in. But they'll all eventually be available to choose.
And we know you can't head toward a perk on purpose. The cards are pretty random. We assigned a perk card for each special category because when you do eventually finally do get that card, we would like you to try to wrap your character around those cards. Use them to frame your character best as possible when you do eventually get them. Now, I've already gotten a couple of mine. I've gotten Dromedary, which is, I believe, water is probably more effective or weighs less. Probably more effective, I would assume.
Yep, 25% more to start, I believe.
So I've been rocking the Dromedary already. Has anybody gotten any perk cards that they've been assigned yet? Ray, have you gotten any?
My character's only at level 2 because I started out and realized, oh my God, I've already done one of the first quests for the show for 3 weeks from now.
Well, escaping the vault, but geez, I mean, you have to do that one. Did you do the next one too?
Yeah, I found the Overseer's camp.
Yeah, me too.
I ran the opposite direction of the.
You kind of need to get to the Overseer's camp at least.
Yeah.
I didn't go to her original camp, but I found a different Overseer's location, I believe. I thought that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
I thought you'd have to.
There's a bunch of Overseer's stashes all over the place.
I thought you would have to unlock it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like find the original one to kick off that. But I could totally take the purified water and stuff out of the stash.
Yeah, well, technically, when you leave the vault, because you go through her office, you can grab the tape and read the logs there. It actually starts in Vault 76. So you did the kickoff just by leaving the vault.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, and I always thought that the Overseer's quest was the main quest, but it's kind of its own thing, I guess, right?
I think the first 2. Going to the camp and then going to Flatwood is on the main quest line, but from there it breaks off.
Yeah, And my faction, we assigned factions stuff to. I got the responders, which I was happy about because to me they feel like the Minutemen of Fallout 76. The good guys want to go out and help anybody. But now that I've met the Free Staters, I kind of am interested in those guys too a little bit. Yeah. So looking back here at our awesome Pit Boy, thanks again, Steve, for the design. And he incorporated a little bit of art from Jess as well. The gear there that you see.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Vault design.
I cleaned up the original Pit Boy and made that little gear and stuff.
Yeah,
That's actually what sparked me doing a whole bunch of logo ideas, was making the gear for this.
Yeah, and on Saturday before the marathon, I posted a sort of like a little promo for the Fallout feed as a sort of like a tongue-in-cheek joke about how we're now the regional food podcast, and join us for the ASA podcasting marathon. And Jess's design was a giant hit. Everyone thought they got a real big kick out of that. Really
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
We're like, let's get T-shirts of that. I'm like, that sounds great. Do it, guys.
She's our new art director, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Art director and cartographer reporting for duty.
Yeah, map maker and extraordinaire over there. All right, so we've got what else have we assigned here? We've got names. That's something we need to discuss here.
We all know what we're laughing at too.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I mean, there was, this is very progressive. There is absolutely no gender assignment to anyone's name.
Why did we decide that? We did it in Fallout 4, right? Was it a lot of work to separate the names by gender?
I'm not certain if it was on purpose or just a happenstance.
Yeah, it was the way we were putting it together for this when we were brainstorming things to add, because we did gender before we added names, and we don't even, we said, well, what are we going to do for names? And since the first handy will say your name in Vault 76, we thought maybe it uses the same list as Codsworth, but we don't even know that yet. So we just simply took the whole Codsworth list and put it in there just to try it.
And we didn't separate by which sex. So,
by sex or explicitness, no.
by explicitness, that's true. So Codsworth will say everything in that list?
Yeah, everything we put in. If you want to be ass face, you can be ass face. Pardon me.
So, excuse me, that's asface.
I don't speak French.
Okay, so what we're all sort of tiptoeing around is one of our community members was rolling. Does anybody remember who it was? Sorry, I forget off the top of my head. But it was a new person who they're worried about they were too late to the Fallout the roundtable project. And I said, no, hop on in and go ahead, roll a character. And they posted his role not too long after. And the name given to this character was fuck.
Yes, it was.
So you're telling me in Fallout 4 you can roll up and Codsworth will just say, oh fuck, where have you been?
Which is a single player game, That's why I'm thinking it might be different here, but we don't know. I should have created a character today just to try it, but I got so busy working on my camp I never even got to it.
That sort of censorship actually brings up an interesting point that they wouldn't want fucking a multiplayer game. Alex was saying that the plans to build the neon lights were super, super expensive. And I was like, why would they do that? That's so dumb. And he's like, well, they don't want people in an open world game just to be writing whatever they want to anyone. And you can write some pretty awful things to people. So they want to try to make it something you have to they protect it behind I guess you have to be dedicated and high leveled or something. But I guess jerks can be dedicated and high leveled too. I don't know.
Yeah, it was David. It was David Wolf who
David Wolf.
Yes.
Welcome to the group, fuck. I hope first of all that the 76 name the game will actually accept that as his entered name. They might, do that shake it off thing. You know what I mean?
Well, and I hope someday they fix it so you see your display name instead of your account name while you play. Because, while doing the round table, and those of us who love alts, like some people, we might have 10, 20 characters over our lifetime, but they're all going to have the same name unless it will display your character name.
That is something I wish that you could do. I don't know how they get around it. Like, they need to display the gamer tag so that in case something happens, you can flag people, block them, that sort of stuff. But I really agree with you. There really should be a way that if this is a role-playing game, you're playing a role, you shouldn't see your own gamer tag floating above, or anybody's gamer tag floating above their head. It should be the characters' names if they actually want it to be a role-playing game. They really want you to live in that world. Because then you're saying, "Oh, I'm not seeing a person here. I'm seeing the avatar of some person sitting on their couch."
Yeah, that really surprised me. Then again, maybe it's because they didn't put parental controls or those kind of controls into the game, since it's built on the old engine, and they've made some changes with Bethesda Austin. They've made reprogram. Maybe they couldn't reprogram that part, so they're going to rely on the fact that each system has their own censorship things built in. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it's the way I name my characters anyway, because I'd just be running around with Beta 1 Ray over my head.
You're never a beta, Ray. You're an alpha.
And Beta. So that was the character that I started after the beta was done. Was Alpha 1 Ray.
Nice.
So, Ray, you're infamous for starting 1 billion characters. Are you still only at like 3?
Well, 4 now with the roundtable character.
Oh man, stacking them on. So I got a name that sort of is off gender. Ray, what name were you dealt?
I got a great name. So my character is Cobb.
Cobb. Yeah, sorry. Tell us a little bit about Cobb.
And so, so I'm just kind of kicking around. Okay, Cobb, what would, what goes with Cobb? And then, of course, the first thing that popped in my head was Ty Cobb. And then I thought, well, you know what? Ty Cobb was kind of a controversial player. He was very aggressive and that fits really well with Mo Cronin's idea of what baseball is in Fallout 4. So I decided that I would make my character his great grandpa, and his name is Ty. His nickname is Cobb Cronin.
Nice.
And so, he's got some idyllic, ideas about baseball, but now he's, he was expecting to walk out of the vault and head down and get in a pickup game. But now he's finding that everybody's dead. And so the idea of baseball will slowly change as he goes through his progression through the game.
Nice. Are there bats in the game?
There is, and actually, that's when I quit. I picked up a bat, a ball, and a mitt as I entered into Flatwood.
I'd found plenty of baseballs around and baseball grenades and stuff. I think I'd even found a mitt too, but I don't know that I had seen a bat yet.
Yeah, there's a swing set just in the behind the first house that you come to.
Gosh,
make yourself a swatter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, are they called swatters again?
No.
That's
I think it's baseball bat.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but it's level 5, so it's going to take me a while before I can use it. But I will, one way or another, end up putting nails and screws into it and making it a sharp.
Oh, that's great.
Or a spiked bat.
Well, spiked, it's highly appropriate for Ty Cobb. If anyone knows anything about the history of baseball, Ty Cobb was legendary and back in I don't even know, when did he play, Ray? 1800s or early 1900s at the very latest. But he was infamous for doing very dangerous slides where he would slide with his legs up with metal spikes extended, trying to jab them into people's knees and legs to get them off of the base that he was trying to slide into. Now that sort of move is illegal, but that was totally okay back in the day when he did. I mean, he was still considered a dirty jerk, but it wasn't illegal, I don't think.
No.
You can put rockets or jets on your baseball bats now too.
Ooh.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like Cito's shiny slugger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I picked up an equivalent of that. It's slow, but it's powerful, like a super sledge.
Nice. Ooh, my favorite new two-handed thing, and I'm not high-leveled enough to wield it, but I've seen other people do it. What's that sledgehammer made out of a drum thing? What is that?
Oh, that's the war drum. Yeah, I was playing with Rebecca, and she we found one in the caverns. Oh my gosh, down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map.
Uncanny Caverns.
Uncanny Caverns. Yeah, there's one in the box just before you go down the ramp, and it was I wasn't high enough level to use it, and she grabbed it, and it makes an awesome noise. So I was with my guitar sword, and she had her war drum. It was good. Good times.
The
Good
guitar
music.
sword also makes a pretty cool like tarl sound when you
yes,
you go with it, right?
And with a death tambo, sounds beautiful.
Wait, Ray, gonna do your sound drop again? You had what was the thing you found?
Oh, the mysterious stranger.
You had the double death tando. What were you doing? You said you had a double death tando on the last episode. You were saying you found two of them or something. Can you wield two at once? I know that they distinguish melee with one-handed and two-handed.
I hope you can. I don't think you can.
No, not
there's
yet.
no way to select it at this point.
Come on.
But it would be so good.
Yeah, dual wielded death tambos.
I don't understand why
Needs to be a thing.
That just doesn't make sense in my brain why they would make a distinction between one-handed and two-handed unless you can do something with the other hand.
I mean, one-handed is faster, but yeah, if you can dual wield blades and Skyrim and stuff, you should be able to do a double death tambo.
Exactly.
Double death tambo. That sounds like a gymnastics move or something.
When am I going to get my super piano sledge? Or
Where you run around with it on a pulley and drop it on people?
Yeah, it'd be like an anvil in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Or a bass guitar launcher or something. When am I going to get the rest of these instruments as well? Oh, banjo would be good. Something.
Well, you should be able to make it into a bow, like
bong.
Oh yeah, like a violin.
Oh, that'd be super cool.
Weapon or cello or something.
Well, they do have a crossbow now in the game. Has anybody tried to use the crossbow yet?
No, I haven't made one. I haven't found one. Have you?
I found one. I definitely can't make one. But yeah, you can make the bolts, and it's just a couple pieces of wood, I think, maybe some steel. And you can actually, they've included the sneaky archer into Fallout finally.
Nice.
Sons of bitches. They're ruining my Fallout game by bringing this stupid Skyrim sneaky archers in.
Hey, we can still boycott them. We don't play sneaky archers.
We clunk around in big metal armor. Clunk, clunk, clunk. Oh, that is something I'm glad that they changed. In Fallout 76, you don't clunk, clunk, clunk nearly as badly as Fallout 4.
No, but you can still hear it. When I hear another player wearing power armor, I can hear them coming from a mile away.
They chug, but I think they've toned it down from Fallout 4 a little bit.
Sneaking around like a bag of tin cans.
So, Ray, what else do we have on this generator? You have your Ty Cobb. So we have Camp Zone here. We've included a place on the general area in the map where you should build your camp. Toxic Valley. That's not the Great Divide. Where's the Toxic Valley? What is that? That's where my camp is. What camp zone did you get?
I got Savage Divide.
Savage Divide. That's a strip of land going right down the middle of the map, about like a maybe an eighth, a tenth, a third. I don't know. A strip of land going right down the middle of the map, right?
Yep.
And it's been posted in the group a couple of different times. The level of enemies that will spawn in each of the different quadrants or sextants of the map. There's and the Great Divide, I think you can go all the way up to like 99, guys.
Yeah. I mean, those are just guidelines, but 15 to 99 is what we show on that on the level map.
Yeah, that's rough. Now, how likely is it that 99 will spawn if you're level 2? That's very unlikely, right?
I don't know. So I had on my first character, I had my camp on the golf green at White Spring. And I was level 15, 16 maybe, and
Yeah.
I had level 50 honeybeasts spawning.
Yeah, it's so dependent on people who come to visit. If you're low in a zone, but someone's high in a zone and it can spawn that high, it will spawn the higher sometimes.
So,
Yeah, I think the reason was that I had I was right beside one of the guard gates where the sentry bots and assaultrons, the friendly ones, were. So they were bringing all the bad guys to the yard.
So
and I was dying every time I
wonder
spawned
what
there.
actually affects that, because for a split second I was thinking that it mattered who actually is the leader of the team, because when Alex was leading the team, we were getting ridiculous fucking beasts spawning of high levels that I would eke and run in terror and try to shoot from very far away. But when I was leading the team, he at his 138 level character were coming in and fighting Scorched at level 6, 7, 2, 1, 10 being the ultimate highest. And he was just kind of like looking at me like, are you going to do something about these guys, or should I take care of it for you? I'm like, no, let me try first, please. Oh, I
That's really good to know.
So I don't know that. Don't take that as gospel, because it's totally got to not be true. I think it's like Jess said, it might be random by who is there. I don't know.
I mean, it's not random. It's when the cell's generated. Some cells are generated, when a person enters and then they stay. Other cells will regen when someone enters. So say I'm fighting super mutants in Somerville and they're all, 15 to 16. Someone higher level comes in and there might be some 22s that spawn. But they'll regenerate every time, like a dungeon. A dungeon's like that too. Like if you're in AVR hospital and you're in there fighting a bunch of low-level Scorch, someone new comes in, they'll still be low level because that's got a squelched range, but they'll regenerate when they come in.
Mm.
Huh. I've definitely been in an area and killed a bunch of super mutants, and I'm standing there collecting stuff, and then all of a sudden they pop back up right in front of me.
Yeah, that's why people thought the spawn rate was way too fast when we first started playing, because you'd be killing a bunch, you'd just be looting, and then there'd be more. But it's because early on we were all clustered together, so they kept regenerating every time someone entered a cell.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, okay, am I understanding this correctly? The first person to set foot in the cell will activate the initial spawning level of the baddies in the zone.
Yeah, they'll spawn the baddies in the zone and they'll persist till they're killed for the most part. Or if everybody leaves the zone, then it's going to reset and they'll spawn again when someone new comes in.
My level 7 character steps into a zone. All the bad guys are levels 1 to 15, say in that range. Alex then steps into the zone with a level 138. The respawning generation, will they have a very high range or just another?
I mean, I think they'll be higher. They'll be higher in the range, but it depends on the region you're in. If they're top of range.
Yeah. I see. I'm still not familiar enough with the map. I see people like Philip talking about the map like, oh yeah, it's at the connection of this rail line and Highway 76 just south of this zone and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, holy crap. Are you a mailman in this zone, Philip? Why do you know everyone's address, dude? But no,
He's another one like that. Yeah.
I can't. I still don't even know what the zones are called. There's a forest, right? There's a mire. I assume that there's lurks of some kind there. There's that dark gray zone down at the bottom with the with belching Betty. I don't
You know the name of it now. You come on, you can do this.
Um,
It's ash heap.
Ash heap. I said pile earlier, didn't I? It's like the ash pile.
Yeah, you were so close.
The ash heap. And let's see. There's the red zone that we started at the other day. What
Yeah,
was
that's the cranberry bog.
the cranberry bog? Right.
cranberry
That's where the nasties live. Did they lay it out very similar to Fallout 4, as in it's easy in the northwest and very hard in the southeast?
A little bit, but with Vault 76 starting more center left, the toxic valley up top gets a little bit harder.
Toxic.
But it's kind of the same. Yep.
I didn't even think of that place. And Fallout 3? Similar at all?
Actually, yeah, this is laid out a lot like Fallout 3 in a way.
Yeah.
That was kind of, they had more specifics where I think the northeast was really the hardest as opposed to the southeast. So that was a little bit different.
Is your starting area generally the northwest quadrant somewhere?
No, not in Fallout 3. We were kind of right near the middle, and up near Old Only and such in the northeast is where all the Deathclaws would first spawn.
What about Vegas? Where's Good Springs?
That's center. That's actually maybe closest to this because that is center west.
Okay. Interesting. Map size, you guys impressed?
It's big. It seems spread out a little bit. Like there's a lot of space and.
Yeah, Philip was saying that last week too. I mean, I think the map is huge, but I don't feel like there's that much empty space because, I'll come upon even unmarked locations along the way and stuff, but there are definitely gaps, places for camps and such.
Yeah, it does seem like it's spaced out so that people aren't crowded together.
Mm-hmm.
That they have room to kind of spread out. But yeah, there's always something, around every corner. They're just right there by the vault. You've got the Moonshiners shack and the little elevated platform with the musical instruments on it. Behind the vault is a cultist's kind of effigy.
Yep, and that one, for instance, I don't think has a map location. So that's like an unmarked location right near the vault.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of stuff like that tucked all over the place. Little camp, with the tents and stuff that are all tore up. Usually have ghouls or scorch in it, and
or fucking Calguai. There's a camp that I keep mistakenly fast traveling to. I always forget. There's a fucking mad bear there, Andrew. Quit fast traveling through there.
Why? Why do you do it?
Because it's in a good spot. But I'm like, maybe it'll spawn a bunny this time. No, it's always a bear. It's always the bear. All right, Ray, your camp zone was the divide, right?
Yep, Savage Divide.
That spans the whole north to south, I believe, or maybe not the far north. And far, my gosh, I can't even
see. I think it goes all the way to the top.
I kind of wish the map you could also like the Pip-Boy, you can toggle between the green screen and sort of like the clear background where you can see. I forget what the alternate mode is called. But I wish you could do that with the map too, where you can have the cool map that looks like a real map, but you can also revert it back to the old style Pip-Boy map, because I don't know what it is about the map itself. I'm still getting used to navigating that map. I really didn't like it at all at first. I thought it was cool there's a map, but I really like navigating via the Pip-Boy map for some reason. I don't know why I prefer that so much over, but I don't know. Not a
Yeah,
problem.
I find myself using it less and less, now that I've kind of got the basic layout.
Yeah. So north or south, I assume it gets more difficult to the south for some reason, but I'm not exactly sure why.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just the east. East from north to south is the toughest.
Have you? I'm saying in that zone. Have you plopped down a camp anywhere in that zone yet? Are you working your way there?
I've got a great place at the Savage Divide. The only thing that's there is some pretty aggressive rad stags.
Oh, that's not bad at all. You could,
But it keeps you stocked up on rad stag meat.
that's great.
And
Will they actually
you're-
attack your camp?
no, they don't attack the camp, but they attack you when if you're walking out.
That's interesting. They attack. Usually they just kind of scamper away.
Yeah, these are very aggressive.
That's cool. Great.
But yeah, it's a nice location because it's down out of the main action. So there's a bunch of super mutants just above you, and some mole miners too. But
Oh, good Lord.
You're out of sight, out of mind. When you're in this, it's just a little cliff face.
Yeah, that's great. If you can tuck yourself under a cliff, that's kind of sort of like one side you don't have to watch, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the only trick is that it never, when you enter the game, it doesn't spawn you at your camp. It
Right.
spawns you near your camp. And if your camp is on a cliff face, it's almost certainly going to spawn you down below your camp inside the rocks.
Inside the rocks?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And so you can walk out of the rocks.
Oh, okay.
But you don't know what you're walking into
That's
or
true.
off of.
Oh, yeah. Could just be falling further out of a cliff.
Yeah. And so I had to relocate slightly because the place where it was spawning me, I couldn't get back to my camp.
Right.
Because there was no path up to it.
So your camp was up above you.
Yeah. And I couldn't get to it because it was a sheer rock face.
And then there were super mutants even further up above you above that?
Right.
Oh, my Lord. So much vertical relief in this game. It's like Skyrim or something. Go up the throat of the world there, right?
Yep.
Speaking of spawning and weird stuff, I've been I spawned into the game and started running up the hill, but like, all right, camp, just fall together here, plop, 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 stuff falls down. And you see it appear in front of your eyes, and then, oh wait, crap, I got too close. Oh no, I'm stuck underneath the floor of the damn building. And I have to fast travel to get out of my own house. But you can't do that if the enemies are nearby. So sometimes you just have to wait around for the turrets to kill everything before you can fast travel out. I guess I could have quit and jumped server or something like that, but I just thought that was really funny. I imprisoned myself inadvertently.
I did that with a floor. I got trapped under the floor.
I like that the floors have to be built into the foundation now. That makes more sense. I thought it was weird in Fallout 4 you could just plop down wood pylons or just sort of like floor pieces, and they would magically be flat and perfect and even.
Yeah, I
But
don't like
this,
that
like,
you
in a
can't. I don't like that you can't build floor off of the foundation. I wish you could like extend a porch out that wasn't sunk into the ground. But otherwise, it makes sense. Speaking of floors, I actually heard it. I don't want to interrupt too long, but I heard
you said you were testing
around. Did we lose Jess?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I started talking and Andrew started talking. I was going to say, speaking of floors, I heard about a cool raider move. Now that we were talking about how there are raiders in the games, people luring people into their camp.
Oh, sorry. We cut out for just a second there.
Okay. And
Yeah, you're still cutting out. So if you can hear me,
oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Yeah, I can hear you. Andrew's
cutting out.
gone.
Andrew, am I
oh,
still cutting
I
out?
can't.
Might need to do a relog.
All right, I'm going to hop off and hop back on. Be right back.
So what was that raider move?
Okay. So people have been, you can lure people into your camp, as you know, people trying to role play raiders. So this guy got someone to come in visiting, was giving them stuff, dropped the bag on the floor. When they walked over to pick up the bag, he went into build mode, removed the floor, so they fell through onto spike traps, and then put
Oh,
the roof back on. They were stuck in there with spike traps and a turret.
oh no, that's terrible. I love it.
I heard about that on Reddit like a couple days ago, and I'm just like, wow, that is an excellent, excellent raider move.
Yeah, that's great and terrible.
All right, any
Andrew's
better?
still not- Are you back?
Is that any better?
I hear you fine.
hope
Can you
so.
hear me now?
I could. Can you hear me? Yeah. Sorry about that. So I missed the whatever, guys. You were just talking about the last like 30 seconds or a minute.
Yeah, we can go back to Ray's character. I just gave him an anecdote about a new raider move, removing floors into spike traps and trapping people that way.
Ooh, that's really nice. You were displaying some really cool, I don't know, sort of pre-made stuff at a workshop that I thought you have a strategic spot near your place where you go and collect that workbench every time you play, make your cycle, make your rounds, and you have blueprinted sort of like a stair set with an elevated platform, and with turrets or a turret.
Yeah, it's an elevated defense platform with 2 wings. So it rises up. There's a fence in front, and then 2 turrets on either end. So I can just spawn those at all the choke points
Yeah,
in a workshop. So yeah, you played with it for a little bit. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that why I think they removed the XP gain at workshops as part of the last patch, because someone who had a bunch of pre-built stuff like I do, you go into a workshop, take it over, put down 10 of those, you're getting 30 XP every time. It adds up if you take a lot of workshops.
Yeah.
I never just spam them, I use them properly, but you could.
You don't. You should play dirty. Get that XP. Okay. Let's see. We were still looking at the Pip Boy. What else did we assign here? The
Well, the mutation and the workshop you have to defend was next.
faction. What faction were you, Ray?
Free states.
Nice.
I really, gosh, I don't remember much about that. I don't understand much about the different factions or the new factions yet. And I only rushed through Fallout 3 extremely quickly, and I didn't really pay attention much, so I don't even understand the Enclave very much at all. So I'm interested in checking those guys out. I haven't visited them yet. I think that's the end game faction, if I remember right. Let's see.
Yeah, I haven't gotten beyond the responders, so
Yeah.
So my mutation is Egghead.
Egghead, I've actually run into that one. That one is what is it, like +5 intelligence or something, but minus strength, probably? I don't remember. What is it?
I have a list.
Oh yeah, Jen actually has the list. That's
+6 intelligence, -3 strength, -3 endurance.
Wow.
okay.
It's hard when you're melee to get Egghead.
Do you like that, Ray, at all? Are you doing melee? What do you think?
Well, I typically do a fair amount of melee.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
goodbye.
I have a strength of 11. So,
take 3 off that. That's not too bad, right? Still got 7 or 8. Sorry.
Yeah, the endurance will hurt, but
the endurance affects your hit points. Yeah, interesting. And so I know I ask, and I will ask for every episode from now to the end of time until I actually run into these cards myself. Remind me, what are the perk cards that you need to get in order to keep a mutation as long as you want? There are some sort of different perks that you can get to.
It's Gene Splicer, right?
Starch genes.
Yep.
Starch genes.
Yeah. Level 2 of starch genes allows you to keep a mutation for as long as you want it, and you don't have a chance. It's kind of permanent. You don't have a chance to lose it when you take rat away.
And which